Now, today's first story comes from the True Off My Chest subreddit from Important Audience 610 and says, "My husband doesn't know I'm about to divorce him. This has been my plan for 6 years. This is by far the craziest thing I've done, and I can't believe I suffered all these years staying with this man just so I can survive financially. The start of our marriage was wonderful. We had 2 babies. After the second pregnancy, he cheated on me with a very close family member. He gave me a lazy apology, and on top of that, he complained about my body. He also told me I was built like a refrigerator. Mind you, I was 4 months postpartum at the time. I secretly saw a family lawyer. To sum it up for you, I'd be screwed leaving him. They only had $25K, and that being split up is basically nothing for me. No marital properties, no car, I didn't have a job. Literally nothing. I was a stay-at-home mom. I applied for hundreds of jobs during the time and couldn't find employment anywhere. So, leaving was a bad decision for me financially speaking, especially with 2 small babies. Also, alimony and child support wasn't going to be enough for me to live off or survive with 2 babies with. So I let him believe that I forgave him, and I continued being his wife. The very first time he cheated on me was with my cousin. Then he cheated again. He had a one-night stand with a random girl he met on a night out. I got so mad. I cheated back on him out of anger. Of course, he never found out I cheated. At least I'm smart about it, unlike him. During the time in our marriage, I worked on getting my independence back. My husband paid for my trade school. It was a very expensive program, but he paid for everything. We moved and we bought a house with his income. He grew his money too during this time, so he made far more money now than when I originally wanted to leave him. I started working recently. I have a career now. I'm so happy about that. I haven't filed for divorce yet. There's no idea of my plans. I'm excited. I finally get to leave him after 6, almost 7 years. Now I can walk away with at least $200K, and we have marital assets now, like the house, in the car. He also paid off for me. Now I have my education and my own career. I've been working on my weight loss. I lost 66 pounds. He paid for my tirzepatide. I had a breast reduction and a breast lift. I look amazing. I don't doubt I'll probably get remarried eventually. Everything in my life is finally set and going the right way. ETA laughing at the people mad at me for cheating back on him. What did you expect to happen? I stay loyal to my husband while he fucks other girls. Lol, you guys think I'm gonna just go without sex for almost a decade. The marriage was already over the first time he cheated on me. Hilarious you people think on this app. Rook in me says, at the beginning I was ready to start thinking, man, that's really something to stay with someone for so long, just to milk more money and assets out of them. But then you mentioned how he cheated on you the first time with your cousin. Showed no remorse whatsoever. Ali shamed you when you were going through the first few months of postpartum. Cheated on you again? Honey, you milked that man like a farmer would milk a cow. Milk him for all he's worth. You withstood the storm and now you are the storm. The problem is not going to lie. You seem toxic as fuck. The cheating back and bragging how he paid for everything and you don't have to pay a dime is gross. I'm actually really happy for your husband. Funny how you leave out any flaws in the marriage that came from you. You could say the cheating is one, but you don't seem to think that is a bad thing. Hope no man ends up getting with you after his divorce, especially as a toxic single mom with 2 kids. Yikes. Brumpy says you sound exactly like my wife. Before her and I met, she didn't have the cheating you experience, but she experienced incredible loneliness. About 10 years into their 20-year marriage, she began to squirrel away money from her own allowance and plan for a future once their kids were grown and out on their own. The major problem was his complete inability to find time for any of them. 0 weekends, 0 vacations, trips, family time. It got to the point where she dreaded hearing the garage door while after the kids were asleep. She found an incredible group of girls in our chat room on IRC. I helped her make the incredibly difficult decision to leave. Please do what's best for you and do it safely. Best of luck to you. Commercial says I'm in a similar boat. I can't leave. Child support and alimony will not be enough. I financially cannot leave. I've been applying to jobs over and over every day. I just try to do things to make me happy, to pass the time. Good luck to you and your new endeavors. Please give me hope. OP says it really does get better. I was so miserable at the beginning, but I had goals to keep me busy. Going back to school and getting my independence back was step one. I had a plan, and I know there was a way out eventually, even if it's going to be almost a decade away. It was still worth the overall outcome. I really wish you the best of luck. Stay strong early. Another commenter says and asks a question after that saying, can I ask, how would your marriage these past years though? Like, did he even attempt to change or anything? OP says no, he didn't. He said he was going to change and never did. He just started hiding everything from me, and he was lying about his whereabouts. He's liking random girls' Instagram pics and DMing them flirty messages. He was Snapchatting random women. I only knew that he cheated on me twice because I checked his phone. He definitely cheated on me way more than I know of. I just stopped going through his phone like, what's the point? Like I already knew he was cheating. He also treated me really poorly, made me feel bad about my weight, always called me fat and ugly. He told me that I needed to get BBL to get rid of my mum pouch and fill my flat droopy ass. I can really go on, but I'll stop there. So OP did come in with an update and said a lot of people here wanted an update. The last time I posted, I wanted to update you guys and tell you that I did tell him I'm divorcing him. You know what's the funny part? He's honestly shocked that this happened, as if he didn't do anything wrong. He told his parents on me because I'm really close with his parents, and he thought they could persuade me to change my mind. His parents are sweet. However, they turned on me quickly and told me off for leaving their son. They let me know what he did was unacceptable, or what I'm doing is even worse, by leaving him and a family behind. My husband cursed me off after the divorce news. He also called me a gold digger and went on a rant about how women only want money and blah blah blah. He also called me a slut because I went out with my girls and boys who are my close friends, and we went to the bar to celebrate my divorce. Anyways, we're in the middle of divorce now. It's a process. We both still live in the marital home until further notice, as noticed by the attorney. We will both have 50-50 custody, most likely a rotating schedule. One of my kids is taken into divorce really hard, even though he knows what happened, and he's begging us to stay together and how he doesn't want us to get a divorce. Honestly, I did feel pretty bad after my son begged me not to divide up our family and to stay with their dad. But at the end of the day, I need to be selfish and put my needs above everyone else's for once in my life. My son does hate me, though. He won't talk to me and spends most of his time with daddy. Neither child is younger and doesn't fully understand what's going on, and it's just kind of brushing it off. My son just keeps saying he doesn't want divorced parents and he wants us to stay together, and he doesn't want step-parents. My son is really taking it hard. He's also saying that he wants to spend most of his time with his father if I go through the divorce. I just told him that's not how it's going to work, and we'll both spend time with him. He keeps saying it's not fair and he doesn't want to stay with me. I'm pretty much all of the top comments on that update were saying this is where parental alienation is going to come into play, that he's already got his parents involved in this, that why wouldn't he start poisoning your own children against you, which is absolutely terrifying. And other people mention get the kids therapy. That's an absolute must, especially if they're taking it hard. Of course, if your family's breaking apart like that, therapy is a good idea for them. I'll comment on that one also, saying to gray rock him and basically record any of the stupid shit that he might pull at this point. What do you guys make of this situation? The majority of the comments were on OP's side on this. There was a few saying that it was the wrong way to go about it. But what do you guys think? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Our next story comes from Crap Kid Throwaway that says, I'm either our soul. My husband was nicer to BFF than our own husband. I'm writing this post because my best friends Kate, husband Bert, called my husband Tim an asshole. I've historically kept my opinion of Bert's behavior to a minimum on the grounds that good friends say their piece once and then love each other through shit relationships. But I'm asking internet strangers to be the judge. I'm traveling for work. Kate's is stuck at home, working at 7 months pregnant on modified bed rest. Generally during the week, I drop over once or twice to bring her family some dinner. Tim cooks extra portions once a week to share. Cheer her up, read out all this a couple of bedtime stories so that mom can go to bed early and get some sleep. Bert works an office job. She's stressful, I'm sure. But during her pregnancy, he's been working longer and longer hours, salaried, not overtime. She's been sad and a bit lonely. Yes, I've suggested counseling. With that for background, this evening, she and I were texting. There's about 6-ish, and she got a craving for a taco place near my house, and importantly, near Bert's office. She says she asked him to go grab her someone on his way home. He says he's not stopping. He's got work at home, and she should just DoorDash something close. This makes her extremely sad. She says it's irrationally sad, but you beat the judge because he used the surprise with her favorite tacos, and now he can't be bothered. As one does, I tell Tim I'm 3 states away, so it's just part of our chat as I was getting back to the hotel and getting ready for a work dinner. I get back from dinner, and Tim had gone to pick her up tacos. I've heard the bag of things I've collected for her, and the kid are in my car, and pulled a tuna casserole from the freezer. Bert hates tuna casserole. He dropped them off on the porch and just texted that there were some things I wanted her to have. Then Bert gets home. Did he bring tacos, coloring books, or a good attitude? No, he did not. He called Tim to tell him that he was an asshole for showing him up. Other colorful language was also used, including some fairly sexist nonsense. He also texted me telling me to keep my husband away from his wife. Tim did respond rudely when Bert called. Kate says he told Bert he was a failure as a human, a man, a father, and a husband. Apparently that caused Bert to scream, exploited so loud their daughter started to cry. Not good. Tim then hung up on Bert, blocked him, and texted Kate that if she needed someone, an emergency, she knew where to call. But he wasn't putting up with a shit husband any longer. It's a giant cluster, and I have no idea what's going to happen. My husband feels bad that things escalated so much, particularly since their daughter was crying. He feels like an asshole at the moment. Obviously, Bert thinks he's an asshole. I think he's a sweet man. What do you guys think? Nerdy Swamp, which says, not the asshole. Bert is the only asshole in this situation. Also, $5 says Bert didn't want to stop for tacos because Bert has not been staying late at the office, and he was nowhere near the good taco place. Bert is getting shown up because Bert isn't even phoning in being a supportive partner and husband. He's sending a brain-damaged carrier pigeon. Kate needs to rethink if this is what she wants for her and her kids long-term. Is this the model of a relationship she wants them to see? An angry asshole who ignores an easy request from his pregnant partner and then goes off when a friend helps. Tiggy Tiggy Boom says Bert is shit. Kate needs to address this. However, I think Bert wasn't at his office near the taco place. Has he lost his job or having an affair? Not the asshole. Jay Scarlett says not the asshole, but refused Kate's request. He said he was too busy for any family obligations. That sets the bar incredibly low for anybody to show him up. To be salaried and be a slave to your job that you have to leave the office, go home, and straight to work sounds kind of sus. As the kids would say, people need to eat, people need to poop. Is he not at the office and rushing home now to catch up on work? The dude can take 5 minutes to pull over and grab the food that Kate could have called for pickup. Don't ignore your husband and provide a duty to then be pissed off when someone treats your wife, the person you pledge to love and cherish, and sickness and health till death you part as a respected human being. She's making humans in her belly. You can't get her a fucking taco. Bert is a failure as a human. And Significant Kiwi comes in with a bit of a different take, but sounds like an asshole. But not sure you guys helped here or that you picked the right battle either. It clearly sounds like Tim escalated things. Plus, literally sending him with tacos wasn't necessary. Or dash is a valid way to get food you want. And sending the tuna casserole that, Bert doesn't like also sounds like a deliberate provocation on your part. And I think you darn well know it. The play devil's advocate. Sending Tim there with tacos wasn't necessary. So it's hard to blame Bert for thinking Tim was trying to show him up, especially if Tim responded aggressively and called in names. Honest to God, when I was pregnant, it didn't mean I expected my husband to go somewhere at the drop of a hat to get something special for me, particularly when I could get it easily delivered, but may actually be tired too. Yes, Bert is an asshole, but you need to find a better way to support your friend. You're getting awfully close to asshole territory yourself, because it doesn't sound like your efforts were completely out of kindness, but that you deliberately aimed to make him mad. Your reaction makes this a soft everyone sucks here. But you can do better to prove your friend you're there for her. And yeah, but it's absolutely an asshole, but I'll be lying if that didn't pop into my head about that tuna casserole thing. I was like, especially knowing he doesn't like it. It just felt like that was like a fuck you, but then OP comes in with their update and says not a happy update. One, I apologize for screwing up the title last time. It's fine, we read the right one this time. I was trying to be brief and wound up being wildly disappointing. My apologies. Hopefully this is more effective. 2, this update is shared with Kate and Tim's permission, for reasons that can go fuck himself. Bert did email Tim this morning to apologize. Bert said he had forgotten I was out of town, and he didn't realize that Tim was dropping off the meal-trained food. It was a weird email for many reasons, but Tim responded politely if non-committal. Tim hasn't changed his view of Bert, in part because of what happened between Bert and Kate this afternoon, but also takes me to apologize. But I didn't get his message until after I landed. By then, everything else had happened. I've elected not to respond. Bert went home around noon after staying at a hotel last night. Hate's sister had taken their daughter to the park, so Bert and Kate could talk it out. Short version is that Bert has been avoiding Kate because she's not happy during this pregnancy. I mentioned in a comment that Kate had been married previously, and shortly after her first husband died, she had complications in her pregnancy that forced her on bed rest. Unfortunately, her son didn't make it. Her current pregnancy is bringing up a lot of painful memories, and she's scared she wouldn't be able to make it to full term. So yes, she's not as cheery as she was when she was pregnant with her daughter. It's a difficult time. Bert has frustrated and angry that she's not happy, so he's been staying late and ignoring her until she stops doing that. I know that sounds horrid, but I think they could have worked through those feelings. But as he was explaining how he felt, he said she should be glad her son wasn't there because otherwise she wouldn't have this life at all. Yeah, that still knocks the wind out of me. It's so cruel. She did talk to him about that statement. The explanation doesn't get better. In any event for her, that was just the end. She told him she was done. They can work out joint custody, but the marriage was over. She called her sister and she and her husband encouraged Bert to leave. Currently, Kate's not angry or sad or panicked. She's just done. Personally, I'm surprised since they've weathered some fairly shitty things, including infidelity by him. And I guess that was the line. In any event, her D&D friends are over there for Saturday games night, and they are eating waffles. She thought it was important for the internet to know that waffles are appropriate separation food in terms of well-being, which many kinds of souls are worried about. They have a prenup. The house is hers, his family property is hers. I'm sure there will be a fight over custody, that she'll be financially okay. In any event, she has family and friends who help and support regardless of what happens. What the fuck goes through someone's head, like he said? He's glad that a son wasn't there, because otherwise she wouldn't have this life at all. Oh, how does that go through your head and think that's right to say in any way, shape, or form? It's just madness, but I'm glad she got rid of him in the end. Especially it says about the previous infidelity by him as well. Sounds like a right catch. And of course I agree on the waffles as well. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories. You'll love your support. Your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much, truly. I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.